Your philosophy is plants, fruits, nuts, and
seeds. Yes.
No fish, bro? I can't have just, bait fish, no seasoning?
Let me give you 2 examples. I had a colleague who's also that's a physician. She was trying to figure out what was going on. She was getting these anxiety attacks. Sometimes her hands would stop working and depressed, etc. She would go to the doctor. They would take her vitals normal, okay? We went back and forth. She finally called me and said, look, I'm at a point where, I don't know if I can continue to do this. And I was like, what is this? She said, life. I said, well, let's sit down. So we go through and we do a 58-question evaluation. And as I'm asking her these questions, what I'm noticing is that she's pescatarian, okay? And so the first thing that went off in my mind after asking her all of the symptoms, I'm like, it sounds like you have heavy metal toxicity, specifically mercury. So go to your doctor, get tested for the mercury, see what happens. She goes to the doctor, gets tested for the mercury. They're at a level where she should be dead. I remember one time in the pharmacy, the old school thermometers, they used to have mercury in them. We dropped one. We had to call the hazmat team to pick that up. We can't even do it.
You can't even do it yourself.
And they can't even do it ourselves. Okay, so that's how dangerous mercury is. Okay, her levels were at that level. All right, so get her on a detox. Within 28 days, all the symptoms resolve, okay? The mercury was coming from the fish. So that's one example, okay? Another example, because one of the primary fish that people like to eat is salmon. What people just recently found out about salmon a couple of years ago is they make a genetically modified version of it. Did you know that? Yeah, so they make a genetically modified version. I think it was created in Canada. And then they started putting it in, because it comes from Alaska and that area around Canada. And so they take this genetically modified version and somehow incidentally combine it in the same waters with the natural salmon. You know what the genetically modified version started doing? You can look this up. It started eating the natural salmon. It started being, it started eating, you can look this up this. I'm not making this up. It's not a video. It's it really happened. So what's really important is that. And then the third thing I'll tell you is that because the waters are so polluted in the ocean today, you remember when they had that Fukushima incident in Japan and that radiation spilled out into the water? Well, what people don't realize is that radiation continue out into the Pacific. They found that radiation even on California, even on California.
You got me here itching, man. What's happening?
They found it as far as California's coast. Okay, so a lot of the fish you'll see today, you'll notice when fishermen are catching fish now, they're going inside of their mouth, pulling things out. Those are parasites. They're pulling parasites out of the fish mouth. So that's why I'm saying, I know I'm I feel like I'm like the party pooper.
You really are, Doc, because I'm hungry. And I'm still gonna eat this chicken, but you got me thinking I'm about to eat some parasites.
But the thing is, it was I was telling you, brother, we're so misinformed here because they filter the information out. It's a consumer society, so everything is based on production, everything is based on demand, everything is based on you buy this for this. But if you do the research, and you have to do specific research because otherwise, like I said, it's going to be 50-50. But if you do the specific research and say genetically modified salmon, you're going to see the brand. If you do the research and say mercury in fish, you're going to see that mercury is very prominent in fish today. Thanks for watching this video, but be sure to check this next video out that's right here.